everybody, it's Fresh Guest with Fresh Guest Gaming, and I'm back at you with Rust, and I'm going to go over some survival tips that'll help you survive your first couple of days in this game. Okay, first things first, obviously you're going to want to gather some resources, the main resources being wood and food. Wood's going to help you build your shelter, and food is going to keep you alive. I love food anyways, by default, so you know I love gathering food. Okay, but first and foremost, we're going to get some wood. As you can see, I'm just beating against a tree here. That's giving me one piece of wood every time I hit it. Eventually, it will run out of wood, and it will tell you that it's out, as you can see there. Okay, so then you can just move on to the next tree and the next tree and so forth. But as what I would suggest is to find these big piles of wooden logs. These wooden logs actually give you more every time you swipe. As you can see there, I'm getting 7 pieces every time that I hit this wood pile, and these are your best bet as far as getting wood. Okay, so we're just going to gather up enough wood here because that's obviously going to help us with our shelter, which we'll talk about here in just a bit. So let me go get a couple more of these piles. There's some deer there. Those will help you with food. You're not going to be able to get those until you have a gun or a bow and arrow. You can't really catch them, so there's no use to even bother with those at this point in the game. Alright, so let me get some more wood here, and then we'll move on to gathering food. But I need to make sure I have enough wood for shelter. Just why I'm getting this wood, I'll kind of tell you what I'm going to go over as far as survival tips. Of course, we're going over gathering resources right now, as far as gathering wood and food. That's the first things that you should do when you get in this game, is do those two things. Okay, you're not going to survive unless you do those things. Okay. And I see some food over here, and I'll go ahead and go over there and get that so you can kind of see what that consists of. These are pigs. These are your best bet for food. There's only 2 ways to get food, and that's to kill these little suckers or to find food in from people in the game that have it stashed. They could give it to you as well, or to find food that is located in crates and things throughout the game. Okay, so now that I've killed this pig here, I will just simply beat on him for a while. I wouldn't suggest doing that in real life, or you will have animal rights people at your door. But this is what you have to do in this game to survive, so this is what we'll do. As you can see, as I'm hitting it, I'm getting things like cloth, animal fat, but is what you want for food is chicken breast. Now, I know it's weird that obviously these guys give you chicken breast considering they are pigs, but that's what they give you. Okay, so I'm not going to argue with the game. I don't make the rules, folks. I follow them. Alright, so now we have some chicken breast, some food. We can mark that off our list. I have some wood. I don't know if I have enough yet, but you know what? We're going to mark that off. Also, I'm going to go over location. Location is very, very important in this game. As you can see, these wood piles, trees, and these rocks that I'm going to right now, those are your resource opportunities. Okay, there's a bear over there. You want to stay away from them at this point in the game as well. So, you know, you want to, when it comes to location, you're going to want to find a spot to kind of set up your camp in a spot that has a lot of these resources, because once you mine them, they will respawn periodically. So if I set up a camp here and I mine these things, they'll come back. You know, and this is obviously a pretty good spot. Another thing that you want to look in as far as location is going to be accessibility. Okay, you're going to want to be close to the road, and when I say road, I mean this thing here. Okay, there's one road in this world, at least as of now. Of course, it's an alpha, so that could change. But this road here goes in a big circle, goes that way, and then around this way, and it comes back around to here, and it's huge. But you want to be kind of close to the road. Okay, because you want to be able to get to the road, travel to places a little bit quicker that way. There's less animals. Sometimes there's less zombies along the roads. So it's always good to be by a road. Also, it's a good reference point for your friends that join the game. There's no map. There's no coordinates. Okay, so you're going to want to have a reference point. So if somebody joins, one of your friends, you can tell them to find the road and to stay put, and you can go find them easily that way. Also, it's good for helping find your camp as well, because you know that it's off the road somewhere. Also about location is places like this is good to set up by, because as you will see, when you go into these little towns and pre-made structures, these weren't made by other players in the game, these were already here. You can go in here and you can find these things. Drops, okay, resources. I'm not going to go over what these resources are, but again, just like with the other resources, as far as the wood and the rocks, they will respawn once they've been taken. Okay, so you want to be close to something like this so that at different times you can make runs to these locations and you can, resupply with things that you may need. Also about location is if you look down here, you'll see my rads count. When you're close to these structures, you will start to develop radiation poisoning. So you want to be far enough away from that so that it doesn't affect you. As you can see now, my radiation is not going up, it's going down. So I'm good enough. I could set it up here if I wanted to. Okay, so don't set your shelter up in a radiation area because you will die before you go through one night. Okay, also with location, you're going to want to be out of sight for the most part. This game is full of bastards that want to kill you and take what you have. Other players in the game, that's how they survive. They will band together. There'll be 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 or whatnot. And they will come and find lower, weaker players, kill them, and take the resources that they've gathered. And if you make it harder for them to find you, that just gives you a little bit better of a chance to make it out here, especially on a highly populated server. Okay, so I picked this location simply because it's got everything that I'm looking for. It's got the rocks and the wood resources, trees and such. It gets there's animals that populate here quite a bit for food, as well as it gets me close to the road, close to a supply location, as well as it's if I go up here a little bit farther, it's quite a bit out of sight, and then people won't see it as much as if it's right up close to the road and they're traveling along the road. Okay, so I would pick this spot to start my location. Okay, now next is obviously shelter. You will need shelter to survive. You will get cold without shelter. People will be able to steal everything that you have without shelter, and you will not be able to basically protect yourself from zombies, other players, animals, and such unless you have that. Okay, so once you've decided on a spot, let's say here, you're going to want to craft a shelter. You do that simply by hitting tab, going in here, going to crafting, and finding wood shelter. Alright, as you can see down here, it tells us that we need 50 pieces of wood. I've already gotten 265, so we'll craft that, and we will have that. Alright, in the shelter, that is simply a get you by type of structure. This is not a house. Okay, this is not where you'll want to permanently set up your house. Okay, so if I wanted to permanently set up my house here, I would probably go back up that hill a little bit and set up a shelter there because I wouldn't want it in my way. Once you lay a shelter down, it's there. All right, you're not going to get to move it. You're not going to get to delete it, anything like that. So right now, this is just strictly for a quick one night, 2 night, maybe a week type of thing so that you're safe until you're ready to start building your own place. Okay, so now with my shelter selected, I can just set it here. I'm going to set it towards the road because that's where most people will come from, and I will set it down. All right, here's my shelter. And so I'm a little bit out of the elements. I can kind of see the road, see kind of people are coming, things of that nature. However, it's not done yet. What good is it to have my stuff in here or be in here when people can just come in and do as they please anyways? It does you no good. That's right. Alright, so you're going to want to make a door. Okay, so you're going to come in here. You're going to find a wooden door since that's what you have wood available if you've taken the first step and gathered it. So I'm going to craft a wooden door. Alright, and then once you put a door up, you're the only one that can enter that door. Alright, so if somebody's chasing me and there's 2 or 3 people shooting at me, or if a zombie's right on my tail, I can run in here, I can shut my door, and I'm safe at least for the time being. Now, people can enter your location by blowing it up with C4 and such, but that's for another time. People aren't going to use those types of resources on somebody that just has a shack because there's not much of a reward there for them. They're using a lot of resources for nothing. Okay, so now I got my door. I can put my door in there. Now, I can come in here and close it. Close, you bastard. Okay, so now I can come in here and now I'm completely safe, assuming nobody's willing to blow up my shed. Okay, so now I'm completely safe. So now, we've gathered wood. We've gathered some food. we've picked a location, and now we have made a shelter. Okay, so next on the list is going to be fire. Okay, and usually I would say that fire is obviously more important at night, um, but it also can make things a little bit, iffy at night. And that's why I say that is because obviously it'll keep you warm at night. You will not be cold. You'll be able to cook food and such. You'll be able to see. However, people from a distance will be able to see your fire. If you look over there, I can see somebody's fire. All right, I don't see anybody over there, but somebody's fire is burning, and at night it sticks out like a sore thumb. Um, so at night you'll want light, but remember, if you see people, turn it off. Hopefully they don't find you. But so to make fire, you're gonna once you have wood, you're gonna go in here to campfire, and it takes 5 pieces of wood, not that big of a deal, and you craft it. All right, so whenever I get this campfire, it will start with my 5 pieces of wood, and those will burn out, but I have more wood I can put in my campfire so that it doesn't leave me without any light or without any warmth. Okay, and then also this campfire is going to be how we cook our food as well, which we're going to get into that as soon as I lay it down. Here it is, and I have a campfire, and there we go. Alright, so now once you have the campfire lit, and once you have some food, such as the raw chicken breast, you'll come up here, hold your E button in, and go to open. Now over here on the right side is your campfire. Obviously these ones label cook, you'll drag your chicken to, and now that is cooking. Do not eat the raw chicken without cooking it first. I promise you'll be pissed off that you did, because it will poison you and you will slowly die, and there's nothing you can do about it. So don't do it. Okay? So we're waiting on some food, and that's just basically, the first day thing is gather wood and food, pick a location, make a shelter, create a fire, and start cooking food. And you're pretty much on your way to surviving your first night, assuming a zombie or a bear. Look, we got some chicken. Doesn't come and kill you. All right, now I got some chicken, and if you look down here, my food's down to 403. If I eat, now it's going up. Now I'm showing that I'm comfortable again. Okay, so next thing is going to be clothes. Okay, clothes, they do a couple of things for you. Number one, you can't see me and I can't go into third person, but right now I'm butt naked. All right, I'm bucket naked right now. But once you draft some clothes, your little dang-a-lang won't be hanging out and swinging. So you know what? That's always a good thing to do that as quickly as possible. But also, it's going to help you with different things. For instance, a cloth helmet gives you plus 10 on bullet damage, plus 10 on melee damage, plus 5 on explosives, and plus 5 on cold. Okay, so you're gonna want to craft those pretty quickly, because if not, you're gonna get cold. And also, you're going to also have a higher likelihood that something or someone is going to kill you rather quickly if you encounter them. The way to make the clothes is to get cloth. These guys here will give me cloth. Hopefully the bears didn't see me and want to eat me, because if that's the case, I will not be surviving very long. There we go. Alright, so now as I hit this guy, you will see eventually it will show some cloth pop up. Hopefully, because that's what there we go. There's 2 cloth. And this is basically how you gather that cloth, or of course you can find that out in the storage units, or you can get that from other players in the game if they're kind enough to do that for you. Okay, so okay. So now I've got some cloth. I'll be able to go back to my shelter if I can find it. I'm already lost, guys. That's something that you'll come across a lot in this game, is getting lost, because everything looks a lot the same. And yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep track of where you're at. Alright, so now that I got some cloth here, you can go into crafting, and you can go down here to armor. And let's say I want to make me a cloth helmet. It takes 5 pieces of cloth. I have 9, so I'll go ahead and make that. And then of course whenever that's done, then you would go to the vest, and then the pants, and the boots, and then you're all decked out and you're ready to roll. I don't have enough cloth to make all that. I just wanted to kind of show you guys first how that works. So as we're waiting on the cloth, just some other things to kind of go over is one way to ensure that you're going to survive is to be friendly with people. Everybody you come across is not going to want to be your friend, but most people will. And they will help you if you simply are nice and if you ask for it. But if you run up to somebody, there's somebody running there. If you run up to somebody and you simply say, "Give me all your stuff," or "I'm going to kill you," or if you just start attacking them, or if you try to break into their house and take it, they're not going to be friendly towards you. And the next thing you know, you're going to have trouble on your hands, which I think I might have trouble coming here. There's somebody coming this way. Um, so be friendly, make friends with people, invite people to join you in the adventure because number one, it's more enjoyable with other people. Okay, and also it makes it so much easier when you got somebody else helping you gather resources, build things, and such. It's so much easier that way, and also somebody to just have your back if things go crazy. All right, something else is, like I said before, stay away from bears. You cannot kill them at this point in the game. Once you have a gun, or oh, look at that, our wood burn out. Once you have a gun, or once you have a bow and arrow, something along those lines, okay, feel free to fight bears. But right now, don't do it. Okay, they will kill you, and they'll do it quickly. That goes also for wolves and zombies as well. Zombies are relentless in this game. They're not overpopulated with zombies, but the ones that are there, they are vicious. They will chase you, and for some reason, over the last couple nights, they've seemed to change things with zombies to where they're faster, and you can't really outrun them. They won't be able to hit you if you get out ahead of them, but you can't really break away from them to lose them. Okay, so don't even mess with zombies. If you can avoid them until you have some good weapons and armor so that you don't have to continually die and lose all of your stuff. Also, other players is something that I just touched up on as far as be friends and such. But if you can, just avoid them. Just avoid the other players at least until you're established. And that if somebody does want to be confrontational, you'll at least have a fighting chance. To fight back and to prevent them from being able to basically just kill you and take whatever you have. Okay, so guys, that's pretty much going to do it. Hopefully you like this video. If so, like it. Of course, at the top you can subscribe. Please do so. I'm going to also start a Let's Play series here. And just go day by day and show you exactly what I do. Also, I'm going to go through some more tutorials and more tips on how to build bigger structures that can be more useful, ways to set up your weapons, make those more useful, things of that nature. So stay tuned, like the video, subscribe up at the top, and peace.